We have a new weapon in the war against cancer. It can reduce the risk of cancer death by 40%, saving over 20,000 lives per year. It has the added bonus of improving energy levels and treating depression. It has no harmful effects and won't cost you a personal loan to be able to afford it. The Clinical Oncology Society of Australia recommends the optimal dose of being 20 minutes per day or at least 150 minutes per week. Now, you might have realised that we're not talking about the latest immunotherapy, but rather something we've advocated for other diseases for years. It's exercise. But it's only now that we're realising the true potential of exercise as an adjunct to cancer treatment. But exercising for you and I is hard enough, let alone when you're in pain, have chemo brain, and barely enough energy to answer the phone, let alone get to the gym. And unsurprisingly, our research found that just 8% of cancer survivors can meet these exercise targets, completing about half the recommended exercise dose and spending 20 hours of the day sitting or lying down. When we looked at what factors determined how active people were, we found it was their physical capability and not their cancer treatment type or stage that determined how active they were. And this is good news because as physios, we can do something about this. The aim of my research is to find out how we can get people more active after cancer using exercise-based cancer rehabilitation, where we can provide a personalised prescription to this exercise wonder drug. So, cancer rehabilitation is a one-stop shop where physios and other health professionals can help people exercise within a supported environment. However, a national survey that we conducted found very few of these programs exist in Australia. Just 1 in 200 cancer survivors have access to these specialised cancer programs. And when we asked clinicians who work in these programs about the barriers and facilitators, they told us that exercise was really important, but there was a lack of awareness about these benefits in the general community and especially among the medical professionals, as well as a lack of awareness about where we can refer these people to. They also cited a lack of resources and a reactive healthcare system as barriers to implementing exercise into cancer care. As one nurse told me, if you can't water the seed, you don't plant it. So clinicians are avoiding having conversations about exercise because they don't know what to do next. Now, we also need to consider whether cancer rehab can help promote exercise in the long term. In our trial, participants told us that rehab helped them return to normal. They moved more and sat around less, in the form of everyday activity, but they had difficulty transitioning to ongoing exercise in the community. In fact, in our trial, after 7 weeks of rehab plus motivational support, people still had very low levels of physical activity. They completed just 7 minutes of moderate exercise per day, less than half the recommended dose to have a cancer preventative effect. So our research has informed us that the road to ongoing physical activity is a little bit longer after cancer and that rehab is merely a stepping stone. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach and we need more options to enable people to exercise after cancer. What works for someone with advanced lung cancer who might have never exercised before is very different to the young woman with breast cancer who did CrossFit 5 days a week. So our research has informed us to develop a new framework where we can provide a more personalised prescription for people with cancer. It will involve physios being implanted into major cancer centres to provide services from diagnosis to be able to direct people to the right place suited to their needs at the right time. So whilst we're still trying to figure out how to dispense this exercise wonder drug and get exercise embedded as part of standard cancer care, how will you get your 150 minutes this week?